Welcome back, everybody, and we've got a full slate for you here today. We are back after a little brief hiatus. We are talking the Marvel television trailer that is going to be giving us a preview for next year. Agatha All Along Season 1 review. We're going to give you our spoiler talks on that one. Wicked has early reviews out. We're going to talk about those as well. Christopher Nolan is starring with Tom Holland in his new movie. It's going to be an interesting movie. And lastly, our top 3 Halloween movies to watch on Halloween. Let's get into it. Back, everybody, to ReelTime RoundTable. We give you the best Hollywood-related news here on YouTube. I'm your co-host, Josh Williams.
I'm your co-host, Jordan Burke.
I'm Madeline Otero.
And I'm Christopher Moore.
We got Madeline. This is your first time on it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have Madeline on. Madeline loves talking this stuff. I'm sorry for everybody who's here next to me and everybody who's listening. I'll try and keep my coughs brief. I'm getting over a cold, and people hate hearing me
It's that time
hack
of the
up
year.
a lung, so I'll try to keep it brief as much as I can. I got my water to help keep me going. But how is everybody's Halloween?
Good.
How's
fun.
everybody's Halloween out there? I didn't ask you guys before the show.
We got a bunch of thumbs up.
Bunch of thumbs up. That's good. That's good.
We just see like camera, and then I saw
Right?
from everybody.
Well, like, we're in November, of course, and we'll talk about it here at the end for our discussion of the week. We're going to bring up some Halloween stuff because we're finishing it out on a good note. And as I brought a little gift for Jordan to help her therapy of trick or treat,
Yeah,
gave her Sam to
yeah.
hold for the day, and you can see him right there. Because she doesn't like trick or treat. She doesn't like the movie.
No, I just hear me out. Listen, guys, listen. I didn't know it was a horror movie. I thought it was gonna be like a fun Disney kids movie, and then I showed up and everyone died, and I was a little traumatized. So this is my therapy for the next 30, 40 minutes. I'm gonna try to get along with this guy. I don't think it's gonna work. Just letting you know.
He's a very nice person. As long as you like your jack-o'-lantern on Halloween, he's nice.
He's so cute.
Sure.
He is, completely.
Okay.
All right,
believe
let's
it.
get on here with our first topic here, guys. We're talking the Marvel television trailer that dropped a few days ago, kind of giving us a slate and preview of what's to come for next year for Marvel television. And I'll start us off here with Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Is everyone here, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here is a fan of Marvel, right? I know you are. I wasn't sure about you, Madeline.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, seeing this trailer blew me away, especially for me, it's Daredevil, Born Again. Like, that's just seeing what I'm seeing right here on screen excites me to no end. Because I was a little worried and hesitant of what tone Daredevil will be in the MCU proper now. So, you know what I mean? It's not Netflix, but it's all MCU proper. But given what you saw with Spider-Man, Wonder Man, everything was on there, Ironheart. What was your biggest takeaways from it?
Obviously, Daredevil is my biggest whoa, because I loved the Netflix show. That's probably my favorite MCU thing out there is the Netflix show, and so having them do it again or do more of it is exciting. But Wonder Man really surprised me. Like I don't know what to expect with that show, and I'm super excited to see what it is going to be.
I was shocked to see Trevor on there. If you don't know, if you're not an MCU, like Trevor is the guy who was in Iron Man 3, who played. He was an actor playing the Mandarin, but then he was also in Shang-Chi. Now he's in Wonder Man, coaching him as an actor.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see him back. I was excited for that. But what about you, Madeline? You saw us. What was your biggest takeaway?
So, like, I'm kind of like a fake MCU fan. Like,
Oh,
I
okay.
definitely love Marvel, but, like, I don't know the comics. Like, I don't know
Okay.
anything in the comics. So, like, I don't really know who Wonder Man is, and I don't really know who Ironheart are, but those are definitely the stuff that I'm most excited about.
Okay.
I'm a little worried about season 3 of What If, because I haven't really
Yeah.
liked that series that much, but I'm definitely the most excited about Wonder Man. It just looks like my type of show. It looks
Yeah.
like my type of show, and I'm very excited about it. And I love my black leads.
It's true. Some of them, especially some of them are very like iconic for me. Is Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. To me, it's just sad that he's gone, and I personally wish they would have just recasted it. But that's not our call. I will say I am excited for Wonder Man just because the actor, I loved him. He's been in a lot of different stuff. Candyman, Us. He's been in quite a few other things.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he can do with that role. I do agree with you. I am a little hesitant for What If Season 3, only because Season 1 was so good,
Yes.
and Season 2 just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't the same. I don't know why they did what they did, but either way, it's going to be interesting to see what this season does because we are getting closer and closer to Secret Wars and everything kind of coming to a head. I'm curious to see how that will play. What about you, Jordan? You saw this trailer yourself.
I
What
did.
was the biggest ones for you that you liked?
I think what stood out to me the most was Ironheart.
Uh-huh.
I hadn't heard about that yet until today when I watched the trailer, and it looks good. I think I'm also just fascinated with who's casted in it,
Yeah.
and I'm completely blanking on his name right now. But
Oh, for
Yeah. but I'm really intrigued by that.
well, Ironheart. She made her appearance. The actor and character. She made her appearance in Black Panther 2.
Mm.
So we kind of saw a glimpse, a little bit, of her character, kind of seeing where she goes from here. I will say I did like how, yes, it's a, and in the comics, everyone's a derivative of Iron Man, no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do enjoy seeing her. Her suit is way different than really anything
It
has been
is.
done before. Like I think she, from what I saw in the trailer, like her arms are extended as well. Like the suit's a lot bigger for who she is. So I
She
find
looked
that
a little like a transformer.
Yeah.
But I really digged it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did too. So we'll see. We'll see how we'll see how it goes. I think I'm curious to see where her character will go, how she's going to fit in. I think they are ramping up to Young Avengers. We'll talk about that because of what happened at the end of Agatha All Along. So I think we'll see her along with everyone else that we've seen so far as younger Marvel characters. I'm not sure what they're going to do necessarily. I have my theories. We'll kind of maybe get into that if we want to for the review. But I'm excited. For me, again, it's Daredevil only because it's Charlie Cox returning. All the original cast is returning. And I think this is where, in this, what they're doing is that Kingpin is mayor now of New York. So we'll see how all that takes place. That to me, and the fact that it's an extremely long season, which makes me really excited. And we're going to see John Bernthal return as the Punisher, which is exciting for me as well. So I can't wait for that one. I do agree with all you guys. I'm curious to see how the rest of them play out. It's just we'll have to wait a little bit more time for those other ones to come out. But
Is this the first time that Marvel's done kind of like a trailer release to promote all their new stuff?
I think so because I think they're really trying to. From what I've gathered, they're reducing what their stuff what they're releasing, and kind of ramping up the advertisement for the ones that they are, just to kind of. I think from everything, all the backlash that Kevin Feige and Marvel have gotten from fans, how there's just so much stuff, there's way too much things going on, and no one really knew exactly what was coming out and when. I think this is a good move on Marvel's part to kind of promote these that way people have those dates in their minds and they know what's coming out. Because they've done some stuff like for singular shows like Loki season 2 and so on and so forth, like trailers for that, but nothing that's been like a whole like what to look forward to. So I think that's exactly why they did this, because they've reduced some, because they've canceled quite a few shows and they're just kind of ramping up the production for the advertisement for those. At least that's what I take away from it. But all right, guys, what did you guys think of the Marvel TV trailer? Which one are you excited for the most? Is it Daredevil? Is it Wonder Man? Ironheart? Whichever one you want. Oh, we did talk about Marvel Zombies too. I'm kind of excited for that one as well. Which one is your favorite? Leave your comments in the section below and let us know your thoughts.
So Agatha All Along just ended. We've all seen it. I believe we've all seen it. But I wanna start with you, Madeline, because when we were trying to figure out who was gonna be on the show, you were like, I gotta be here. I gotta be here. I gotta be here. What stood out to you? What'd you think of just the entire show altogether?
It was so good. So I had been a really big Marvel fan for like 2-3 years, and then all of a sudden you're like She-Hulk and stuff. I kind of fell off. Like the world got too big, and I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And then I kept on seeing TikToks and people talking about Agatha All Along, and I loved WandaVision. And so all of a sudden, Saturday night, I'm like, I gotta watch this show. And I watched it in 2 days. And
That's good.
this show is so good. Like, I love Agatha. It was so funny, and the world was so, like, just fun. And I heard that apparently, I guess, it's lower in budget.
Yeah.
But it looks better than a lot of the stuff that's higher in budget, so.
I think the reason that for that specific thing is like we just talked about, they've reduced a lot of the things that their special effects teams have to do. So they, even though they're on a much lower budget, they have the time to perfect some of those special effects, especially here towards because if you notice in the last episode or last 2 episodes, like that's where they really you show their budget there. Like they do a lot of more magic in there. And I think that's where you're kind of where that's going for. So I'm hopeful that's a good sign for the future. that when we get more stuff coming out, we're not gonna see like Ant-Man and the or Ant-Man Quantumania, where like the CGs looks absolutely terrible.
And all the characters were like really likable. Like sometimes you have a character that you don't like, but I loved the Coven so much. Like it's Catherine Hahn and it's Aubrey Plaza and Patty LuPone. Like they were so awesome. They were so fun, and Aubrey Plaza. I love Aubrey Plaza.
I do love that they all. I remember like when I watched the first or second episode, whenever they all show up, they all were very similar, but they had like completely different aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
It was like same word, different font, and I really like that they did that, and they didn't just like pair them all to be the exact same character. But Josh, what are your thoughts about it?
So I think everyone knew when I first heard about this, I had no interest because like the first 2 episodes when I first released, I didn't care because I felt like it didn't have any real. From what I saw, I didn't have any real connection to everything else that's been going on, so I didn't know where it was going to go. But then once they had this kid show up, who was just called the Teen initially, and you're starting to hear rumbles of who he could be, I'm like, all right, I gotta check this out now because if this is who I think it is, then I'm interested. And it ends up being Billy Maximoff, which is to me
What?
Yeah, I know, right? No, and I love how they explored how he kind of did what he did, how he ended up being in someone else's body. And how closely his powers are to his mother's. Like, I loved his character. Joe Locke did a great job with this character. Kind of exploring the dynamics of what his character was before Billy, and then after Billy, kind of his soul coming into that other character's body, which is very interesting. And the other character to me that stood out was Jennifer Kale, which I enjoyed her character quite a bit. I can't pronounce her name, and I'm not even going to try to. Because I don't want to butcher it, but I just love the dynamic of her character. You kind of slowly got to see what happened with her powers, and then that big reveal that it was Agatha who did it, who actually stole her, like who not stole, but like basically bound her, and then getting her powers back. Like that to me is a great arc of a character. You know, I just love that part. But of course, the whole movie was about Billy Maximoff finding his brother. That part excites me a lot, and then Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza. Catherine Hahn did a great job. What's good about this character was for me is I wanted to like her, but then she did things that make you realize she's still a villain.
Yeah, that's like why she's like the best villain.
That's good though. That's what I'm saying. That's what's good about the character. And of course, I love Catherine Hahn as an actor. For me, Aubrey Plaza, which we did find out she is Death. Which that is a big thing, especially for the future of this franchise, or just of MCU in general. She didn't do a good job for me. She did not do the best job that I've seen her in before. Some delivery of certain lines did not hit for me, especially towards the end. Now, I did say the very end, the last episode, where it was her and Catherine Hahn, and like you explore what happened with that dynamic. I really love that. I didn't feel the menace as much as like it was visually menacing. Does that make sense? Like when she had like half her face, but that's just me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she's still an amazing actor. I love her how much everything she's done. It's just for this one, it just didn't hit for me as well as I'd wanted it to, especially if she's someone like Death. You know what I mean?
I feel like she's really, really good in Parks and Rec because she has just such a dry humor, and she says just the most obnoxious and outrageous things, like just completely confident, and you're like, did you really just say that? And she's like, yeah, I did, and it's so funny. But I feel like since she kind of has that darker aesthetic and that darker style, that they tried to put her in a darker role, and maybe it didn't work, maybe it did. I think it kind of, it depends on your taste.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Yeah. See, I loved Rio. Rio was my favorite character. And I don't think, I liked it because I don't think that Death has to be scary. Like, she was definitely scary at times, but she was also funny and comforting. And I think, I think that kind of says something. And I thought, I don't know, she was so funny. She was great. I thought she was the best. I loved it.
And that's awesome. Like I said, that's what I love about when you talk about these things is that she hit for you a different way than it did for me. And that, that's one of the best things I love about movies and TV shows. They hit differently than everybody else.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
No, I think Rio is also my favorite character. I loved her dynamic with Agatha, and I loved the makeup at the end with the half jaw. That was fire.
It was good.
And I think, but I do like the Billy Maximoff and the whole episode where like the reveal happened, and you're just like sitting on the edge of the seat, and then it finally happens. You're like, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like when he finally shows up in his suit or whatever, and he's flying in, I'm like, did he just like think about that suit, or did it just like did he ever think about like what his suit's gonna look like, or did he just like this is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was kind
it's
of
a little small thing that's for me. I'm just like, but it still looked cool. Like I love his hair, his headpiece, which is very reminiscent of his mother's.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch one.
And they haven't quite, and that's the one thing that I still enjoy is they haven't quite hinted if Wanda is dead or not. Because because if you listen to what she said, what Des said, Rio said that she's gone. She didn't necessarily say she was dead.
Yeah.
She's just gone.
Bring my girl back.
I know. Tell me about it.
Bring Wanda back.
Wanda is my favorite character still in the MCU. Like, WandaVision was one of my favorites of that year. And I love Elizabeth Olsen ever since she's gotten this role. And I want her to come back to redeem her arc, mostly. But still seeing the fact that they're going out to find Billy, I do love that part.
I definitely think this show, it has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think with Marvel sort of, especially with their shows, kind of being in a little bit of a drag, a little bit of a dip, I think this show definitely is helping them push way up to where they are and they have been to where they should be.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I mean, what were some of the things that stood out to you like the most that you liked about the show?
I just really like Catherine Hahn. I think she has such a dynamic range.
Yeah.
To times where I'm like, oh, I feel bad for her, and I'm like, no, I don't, and I'm like, no, I do. No, I don't. And I don't know. She like grabs you in.
So whoever wants to jump in, go ahead. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on like the big reveal. To me, was the biggest part, which it made sense after they revealed it, but the fact that the Witch's Road never really existed, and that it was Billy who created it, the whole thing. Like, what was that like for you when you found out when that reveal happened?
I thought that was fire because I thought like that made you hate Agatha more.
Yeah.
Because it's so unique to make the main character like the villain of her own show.
Yep.
And so I thought that was really like the final nail in the coffin for Agatha.
It was crazy. I mean, and honestly, they keep on saying it's Agatha all along. She kept on saying that it wasn't real. And people just weren't like,
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. I think she's kind of funny. Like, honestly, that was a good prank. Like, that's kind of funny.
She kind of just went along with it. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're going with this. What about you?
Yeah, no, it is so cool.
To me, it just shows. I think it showed a good glimpse of how powerful he is, like in conjunction with his own mother. Like you know what I mean? It's like to be able to just make reality that way. Loved it. I'm probably gonna give this one I would say a solid 8.5 out of 10. What about you guys?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Heck yeah!
I
there you
loved
go.
Catherine and Aubrey and Rio and Agatha. Like, first like lesbian relationship in Marvel is crazy.
It was literally the kiss of death. Like
it was the kiss of death, and that's crazy. Like I loved it so much.
That was good.
I would say like 8 as well. It's probably the most unique thing other than like Deadpool, Wolverine, the MCU's done in a long time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, unique is a good term for that. Definitely. All right, guys. What did you guys think of Agatha All Along? What score would you give it? Leave your comments section below. Don't be afraid to go into spoiler territory and give us your thoughts.
Dope. Next, we are talking about Wicked. It comes out, I want to say November 22nd.
Yep.
Later this month. But we have a little bit of early sneak peeks, a little bit of early critic reviews. I personally, when I heard about this, I was very, very hesitant about it. So I was like, it's such a loved musical. Don't take it and ruin it. Don't ruin it. But after seeing the trailer and after reading couple things about it, I have come completely around, and I'm actually very, very excited about it. I think casting these two women was a perfect idea. I think they have the skills to do it. They have the performance ability to take care of these beloved characters. Ariana Grande even said when she was casted, the first thing she said was, "I promise I'll take care of her." And I'm like, oh, that's so good. And I think what I've seen so far, she's doing a pretty good job.
What?
No, what do you think?
No, so some of the things that have come out here, like they had some. When you look at the website we have here that we're referring to, does it live up to expectations? One reviewer said, "Wicked lives up to the hype and exceeds it. Hands down, one of the best of the year films of the year. I was delighted and surprised. Wicked exceeded my expectations." Those are all very good things to hear. And then one of the questions was what things they were worried about. And so that's, because not everything's going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? One reviewer said, While this perhaps won't convert many anti-musical folks, genre fans and diehard Ozonians, I guess it was wicked people, will feast on this. So that's good too. All right, so I'm looking forward to this. I do love my musicals. I've never seen the actual play before. I know my wife has seen it numerous times. She's excited about it. I am excited for Cynthia Erivo. She is an amazing
She's
actor.
good.
She did a movie with Chris Hemsworth. Oh, El Royale, I think it's called something. El Royale. It's a little thriller. She's really good in that one too. An amazing singer. I'm not sold on Ariana Grande yet. I'm just not. Is she an amazing singer? Yes, of course. We all know this. But I'm just curious if her acting will be able to stay on par with someone like Cynthia Erivo, who is
She
high
was on
caliber.
Broadway.
Good point.
Who?
Ariana Grande. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. Like, or she did. I'm not the biggest Ariana Grande fan, so like I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she did like classical training or like she has like a history in theater.
Well, because she was also a Nickelodeon, like you know what I mean. So she was a childhood star, and but like as far as the caliber, like when I see actors on screen together, I always hope that they'll cast people who can really elevate each other and not one outshine the other. Now sometimes it just happens regardless, but it's just like for me, Cynthia was like up here, and from what I've seen, Ariana Grande is like down here. So I'm just worried about that. That's one of my biggest takeaways. But other than that, it's good to hear these reviews. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think I agree kind of because I think this is Ariana Grande's like movie debut, at least on the big screen. But I think it's such a good movie to cast her in. First off, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't need to like have like a real dramatic moment or anything. She's just gotta act like very standardly, and they'll pull it off, and then sing well, obviously, and that she can do that.
Oh yeah, Madeline.
I'm actually pretty excited. Like, I'm a big musical fan, and I've never gotten the chance to see Wicked, so like this will be like my first time seeing Wicked. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I just also just love like anything Wizard of the Oz. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
because it's who's playing Oz again? It's
Jeff
Goldblum. I'm kind of excited to see how
That's
he
really
portrays Oz. Like that could be very interesting. What's stood out to you? Some of these early reviews.
I'm a little surprised that people like it.
Really?
I kind of thought that most people would be like, it's not the real Wicked. Get out of here. We don't like. Where's Adina Menzel? And no one's saying that. At least from what I've seen, all the critics are very positive, which I was a little shocked about.
So, what would you guys? It's gonna be coming out here in November. I'm gonna give you guys an over under here as far as box office for the weekend. Over under $80 million opening weekend in the U.S. Over. Okay.
Over. Considering how much merchandise there is.
Yeah.
And branding. I saw like a Prime drink that was Wicked themed the other day. And macaroni. I was in Target and I saw 50 Wicked things.
Yeah.
Okay. Over 80.
Yeah, I think it's over.
I think so too, but I think it might just be like I'm gonna say like 95.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande has a big fandom.
She does.
It'll
That
be
is
like
true.
when the
True, you
Swifties came to
get-
Cats.
That's true. I mean, you're gonna get the musical fans, but then you're also probably gonna get the Ariana Grande fans.
I didn't think about that.
that.
That's a good point. We'll
You're probably
see.
gonna
I
get-
mean, I'm excited to see these reviews. It's actually good. If I was being more concerned if there was more negative than positive for sure.
What do you guys think about? Because we've spent the whole time talking about Ariana and Cynthia. What do you think about Jonathan Bailey? He is playing Fiyero,
Okay.
and I feel like he's very well known right now. He's gained a lot of attention for being in Bridgerton, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize that he does have a musical background. He does kind of have a theater background. He can sing, and I feel like it's interesting casting. Not bad. I'm excited for it, but I feel like he's been a little outshined.
Yeah, because the whole story is about the Wicked.
Yeah,
you know,
he's not the big name in it. I get
it's
that.
about them too. But I mean, it's a good role for him, I think, to maybe appeal to a much wider audience because I haven't seen Bridgerton.
You're missing out. If you haven't seen Bridgerton, go watch it. He's the best part.
When I watch Bridgerton, do I need to have like a cup of tea and like
Yeah, you
some
kind of do.
biscuits
Yeah, you
and-
kind of gotta you gotta dress up for
You
it.
gotta dress up for
You
it
don't
and
get the whole
drink
effect.
things.
Yeah, you kind of do. You really do.
But he's in other stuff too. He was in Jack Ryan, Fury. He's going to be in the new Jurassic Park Rebirth. So I haven't seen him anything. I probably have to check out a few things he's in just to kind of see. But if anything, it's a huge opportunity for him to show his talent that may actually open the door for him for more things. At least that's what I take away from it.
Madeline, are you a Bridgerton fan?
No. I
was really
was
counting
told I
on
probably
it.
wouldn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's okay. Chris, are you?
No.
I think
Dang
you're
it.
riding solo on
That's
this
fine
table.
with me. I feel like that happens a lot, but that's okay.
All right. Well, what was? Oh, Natalie, you had your hand up. You're a big Bridgerton fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
I will
It's
probably
good.
check it out. I mean, I've heard a lot of great things about it, so we'll see. I'll probably check it out.
It's good.
All right, guys. What do you guys think of this news? Are you happy to see the early reviews for Wicked are positive? What are things are you looking forward to the most? Leave your comments in the section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, let's move on here now to another topic I kind of wanted to bring because I find it very interesting. Christopher Nolan's movie has been reported that it'll be a vampire movie now, starring Tom Holland, which to me is a kind of, I won't say a match made in heaven, but it's probably one of the biggest stars today and one of the most renowned directors working today. Because I think we can all agree that most directors, like when you see a movie coming out, you don't think about who the director is, think about the movie. But now, like, you're always, what's next Christopher Nolan movie? Like, if it's a Christopher Nolan movie, you're like, oh, really? Okay, I think I'm going to check it out regardless of what the topic is. I think that's what really helped Oppenheimer the way it did because of the fact it was directed by him. But, Madeline, you've heard this news, given all the things that Christopher Nolan has done. How do you feel about Tom Holland now starring in a Christopher Nolan movie? But now yet, reportedly, it hasn't been confirmed yet, that it's a vampire movie. That's a very interesting choice for Christopher Nolan. Wouldn't you agree?
See, okay, so I don't know how I feel about Tom Holland. I can't tell if I like him or not.
Really?
I just like he's a great actor. I just like I'm not like woo Tom Holland, you know? Like I think he's great, but I'm not like rooting for him.
Okay. Fair.
And also I don't know. Vampires are overrated. I don't want to see a vampire movie.
Oh, I just heard somebody go.
Someone gasped.
I think was that Kayla who just gasped?
Wow.
I'm just kind of sick of all like the monster movies, I guess, coming out. At least it feels like. Like I hope there's like an interesting twist. Like it's just not a blood-sucking vampire and that's it.
Well, it's kind of a good point because I mean we've got Nosferatu coming out. We have this now reportedly be a vampire movie, but also the director of Black Panther. Sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now. I'm blanking on his name. I apologize, but his movie now coming out with Michael B. Jordan is going to be a vampire film as well, set in the I think it's like the 1940s, 1930s. So I can see how that might. Like, I'm just wondering what's all of a sudden now the big upswing in vampires. You know, vampire movies.
Vampires they're like the most boring monster.
Some can be good. Like, there's some vampire movies I actually really do enjoy, and there's some I roll my eyes at. Twilight's one. But, I don't know, there's some that actually, like, From Dusk Till Dawn for me is a big one. Bram Stoker's Dracula is another really big one. Did I strike a nerve, Sam? Just What did you think about seeing this news for yourself?
I kind of agree with
Chris?
Madeline on Tom Holland part. Like I don't, like I just when I
That's
see
shocking to
when I
hear.
see him in something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I'm excited for him to have something to like kind of wow me or see if he impresses me, like Timothée Chalamet did with Dune, kind of that thing, where like this could be his big role to be like, oh, he is an actor. He's not just Spider-Man. But I don't agree with Madeline when it comes to vampires. I love vampires. I think they're chill. And I think it's going to be exciting to see what Nolan does with vampires.
Yeah, if it ends up being the case, I'm excited to see how his take of it's much. It's probably going to be easily much different than anybody else's. What about you, Jordan?
I really like Tom Holland, and I think pairing him with Christopher Nolan is genius.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, he's done serious roles, but I feel like he's kind of stuck in his Peter Parker look. And you see him and you're like, oh my gosh, it's Peter Parker. There's Tom Holland, Spider-Man. So I think putting him in kind of a very serious Christopher Nolan film would really help push his dynamic, and I think it would help show that he can compete in more serious.
Yeah, because they tried that with Uncharted, like having him be Nathan Drake, which kind of worked. I enjoyed it personally. Like I'd see another one if they made it. But I mean, he's been in stuff. The Impossible when he was very young. He did Cherry, which is a very like rated R film in 2021. Like he's tried to get away from the Spider-Man thing, but it's just like anybody else, like who's a big name actor in a franchise like that, it's just who you are.
Yeah.
I mean,
See, that's like news to me. Like I didn't even know that he did other stuff other than Uncharted.
oh yeah. So he did The Devil All the Time in 2020, Cherry in 2021, The Lost City of Z in 2016, which was actually pretty good. So he's been in a few other things. Just he's trying to expand what he does more. He did do Chaos Walking with Daisy Ridley, which sucked. Just
Wow.
plain and simply, just horrible. But
I
mean-
wonder. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I wonder if he's trying to kind of push himself into more adult roles, because he is still playing teenage Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and he's not a teenager. I wonder if by partnering with
Is he
Christopher
like
Nolan,
30?
he's got to be mid-20s, late 20s.
Hold on.
I thought he was like 25 when he got casted for
No,
Spider-Man.
he
No,
was
no,
like
he was young.
16 when he got cast.
Oh,
He's
okay.
28.
Well, I'm close.
Close.
I mean, that's still
late
that's
30s.
that's an adult.
Yeah,
that's not a teenage Spider-Man.
a young 20s, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll probably jump, age a little bit, but.
But
yeah,
I wonder
he's
if
up there.
if he's trying to push that he is now an adult.
Mhm.
Which would make sense because, like, you have some of the actors who start off with very young roles. They're trying to do something to expand what they're not known for. I mean, I keep bringing it up, but oh God, my brain is not working today. The guy from Twilight,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert
I
Pattinson,
was
has
thinking that
proven
too.
himself more like since then, or even the actress in that as well.
Kristen
Oh,
Stewart.
Kristen
Yeah.
Stewart,
Yeah.
thank you. Again, my brain's not working today, guys. Sorry, sick. My brain's on sick
It's the
mode right now.
illness.
It's the illness a little bit. But no, they've more than proven themselves since then because they were like much younger than back then.
Mhm.
Have proven themselves to be very dramatic actors, and maybe he's trying to do the same. I honestly would agree with that one too. But other than that, I'm excited to see what this becomes. It's reported, it's not confirmed, but either way, I'm excited to see what Tom Holland will do in a Christopher Nolan movie, regardless.
Do you want it to be more modern vampire or like 1800s
Ooh.
vampire? Because I feel like those are two very different things.
It's very
We
different.
got very different feels.
I think modern vampires are overrated.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm about to. Okay.
I was like
Oh.
agreeing with you, and then you said
Yeah.
overrated, and I was like, I don't agree.
So we think they're better?
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
modern vampires are
okay.
just cooler.
Okay, then I
If they're
think
done
that
right.
modern vampires are cooler.
Nah.
Honestly, I would love to see a period piece with him.
Really?
Weirdly enough, I think that would actually work really
Okay.
well in his favor as far as Tom Holland goes. And it's something to change up for Christopher Nolan, too. I think doing a period piece base would be
Good
very.
point.
Because
Like
last time he
old-
did something period piece related was The Prestige, if I remember correctly. And, well, of course,
I thought
he did the Dunkirk, but I mean like old.
like old,
Mhm.
old.
Yeah, like Prestige old. Like the last
Yeah.
time he did something really back then. So I think changing it up would actually work good. It could work well in both their favors, honestly.
Isn't Matt Damon also casted in this?
It's reported. It has not been confirmed yet.
Who do you think? Who do you want to play an antagonist versus the protagonist?
Ooh.
I think
If-
Tom Holland as an antagonist would be
Yeah.
if
very
he was the
interesting choice.
antagonist?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he could do it.
I think that's more interesting.
It
Yeah.
is.
for
I think
me,
it is more
yeah.
interesting. If you put him as the protagonist, that's all we've seen him in.
Mhm.
I want to hate him for a little bit,
Stretch
lovingly,
it,
in a
broaden
loving
his
way,
In a loving
in a
way.
positive way.
That could be interesting. I will admit that could be interesting. And someone to play opposite of him, if it's Matt Damon, cool. I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know who you'd have someone play off of him. That we'll have to find out for sure. I can't
Yeah.
think of anybody off the top of my head right now. If it is Matt Damon, that's still a good choice. But I don't feel like that's the right choice, if that makes sense. All right, guys, what do you guys think of this news? Are you excited for Tom Holland to be in a Christopher Nolan film? And if it is, do you think it should be vampires? Do you agree it should be something else? Leave your comments in the section below and let us know your thoughts.
Is it discussion time?
I think it's
Oh my
discussion
gosh,
of the week
guys,
time,
it's discussion
guys.
time. This is my favorite time of the week.
I
The
love
entire
this.
week, this moment right
I love
here.
talking about these
I
topics
love
here.
it.
So we're closing out Halloween time.
Boo.
It has come to a close, sadly.
Boo.
But now we're going to discuss our top 3. Usually we do a lot bigger, and we might even go. We could throw out some more since we are early on time now. We're going to do our top 3 favorite Halloween movies that you like to watch, either on Halloween or like right before. So we're going to start off. We're going to start with you, Jordan.
That's
Which,
me.
Yeah, it's like your number 3 or something like that.
My number 3?
Yeah.
I put Halloween Town because it's just, it's a classic. I grew up on it. You feel like you can't not say Halloween Town.
Oh yeah.
At least somewhere on your list. Somewhere on your list. It can be number 10, but
Now, do you like the Calabar's Revenge number 2 as well? Halloween Town 2.
I remember liking it, but it's not. on my radar right now enough to say yes or no.
Okay.
I remember growing up being like, okay, this works too, but I don't remember.
So are you a true Halloween Town fan?
I don't think so. Like you're a fake Marvel fan. I'm a fake Halloween Town fan, apparently.
I like the first two. The third one and the fourth one are not good for me personally, but that's me. For my number 3, I also had Halloween Town. I actually watched it on Halloween Day. I enjoyed the heck out of that movie. It's just a fun kids movie to watch. And surprisingly, I watched it with my daughter for the first time, and she got creeped out by the warlock, the guy. You know, of course, I had a feeling she would be, but it's still, she enjoyed it. She had fun. She was actually running around the house with the broom, just kind of doing her thing with her jester costume, which was a funny part for me too. But that's my number 3. What's one for you?
Oh, okay, so we're starting with number 3?
Yeah, so you're working your way down.
Okay. I'll come back to Halloween Town. Number 3, probably Hocus Pocus.
Ooh, good
that's a good one.
choice.
It's a good one.
Did you guys like the sequel?
Oh,
I've
the
not
second
seen it.
one. Oh, don't watch it.
Okay.
It's so I watched it back to back. Sorry.
High five that one.
I watched it back to back, and they completely disregard all of the first film. Like, I love that we brought them back, but also that makes no sense. They were supposed to die and stay dead. That's how death works. But you know, I was horrible.
No,
That's
no. Preach. That movie is horrible. Don't watch it. Just watch the first one and be happy with that one. I don't even know why they did a sequel regardless. What? Hocus Pocus 2, the sequel to Hocus Pocus. It's not good. It's just.
And apparently there's going to be a third one too.
Oh god.
Is it really?
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. I might be lying. I might be a liar.
Well,
Well, that
Don't
makes
trust
sense.
me.
They merchandise that movie a lot.
They
so
do.
They probably trying to make a lot of money off that.
I love the cat Binks. He's probably one of my
That
favorite.
was my
all-time.
favorite character in the first
Yeah.
one.
What's your number 3?
So my
Yes.
number 3 is probably my favorite like Halloween movie, but it's like the least Halloween movie. Is Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie. It's so creepy, and it's like I think it's got the best stop motion, at least for me, in a movie. Like I love how like lanky the characters are, and they're just like moving around, and I
The claymation aspect of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I enjoy it too. To me, I refer to it as a Christmas movie, but that's me.
See, I think there's less Christmas than there's Halloween. That's what I think.
But have you guys heard the theory? I don't believe in it, but it's a fun conspiracy theory I had going around that the Grinch and Max are actually Jack and his dog.
Oh, but they just died?
They died and he became Jack Skellington.
That's kind of dark.
Like after he died, he just became Jack Skellington with the Halloween Town. He has to find his love for Christmas.
Okay.
I found it on
That's kinda
Reddit.
fun.
It's very
really
interesting.
fun.
I liked it. All right, what's yours?
Wait, did you say your number 3?
Yeah, Halloween Town.
Oh,
I was saying
right,
that's
right.
why I laughed
Right.
back that it was yours.
My bad.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is another one that I grew up on, and it's kind of like a religion at my house that we have to watch it every single year. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's just, it's a classic. I grew up on it. I love Charlie Brown. I love the Peanuts.
See, I'm not into that one as much as the Christmas one.
Well, the Christmas one's
It's
the best.
yeah, of course.
The best.
I haven't. I don't think. I can't remember last time I saw the pumpkin one. It's still good.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I probably should sometime. But I'll watch it next year. I'll put it on my list. For my number 2, it's the little guy who's sitting right there. Trick or Treat to me is one of the quintessential Halloween movies. Period. It's a good horror movie. It's on Halloween. Has good lore to it. Sam to me is another iconic character that I'm hoping my daughter will dress up as him for one Halloween if she's willing to put that on.
That'd be really cute.
Because I found online where you can like make the thing underneath it for like the bag is not hard to make, but like the helmet to help make it shaped that way. Like I found a way you could like make it yourself, so I want to do that and like get some like
Could
orange.
you breathe?
Oh yeah, no, there's like ways to help breathe through it because the burlap sacks, you can breathe through it easy, but just like any other mask. But I'd love to have her go around play that character and just I think it'd be the best.
That would scare me. If I saw this thing walking around, that would scare me. I'd run.
Just sitting down staring at you.
Yeah, we're out. The Halloween's over.
But I love that aspect. Even then, we kind of in our family we believe in the idea. Like we don't believe Sam's gonna get us, but we love the idea that you have to have jack-o'-lanterns lit every Halloween, and that's one of the reasons why. But all right, what's your number 2?
Okay, so this is just my favorite horror movie, but it said on the thing anytime that you would watch near Halloween, so...
No, yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
Yeah.
I love Saw. I love Saw.
I love Saw so
love
much.
Saw. That's it.
No,
That's it.
I think I'm a broken record now. To me, one of the greatest twist endings ever. My jaw is still falling off, the theater in Des Moines, Iowa, from seeing it. That's a good one.
I watched it for the first time this summer, and I watched all 10 movies in like the matter of like 3 weeks, and that's how I realized that I really like gory movies.
Oh yeah,
I didn't expect that out of myself, but I loved it.
You know what movie actually doesn't get enough credit, and I think it's underrated, is a Spiral with Chris Rock.
Spiral is so good.
Spiral is actually pretty good. If you guys haven't checked it out, I think because of how bad the last ones got, that nobody wanted to give it a chance because it didn't make hardly anything. It got pretty decent reviews. I enjoyed it, and I think Chris Rock actually did a good job playing a serious role for this one.
The only thing that sucks about it is the little pig that they use instead of Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Because he talks like this, and it's so hard to take seriously. But if you just ignore that, it's like really good.
Like to me, the Jigsaw puppet is like pop culture right now. Like you see that thing and you just instantly know what it is, regardless if you've seen the movies. That's what I love. That's one thing I love about. I love to have that doll just hanging out in my house. About you, Chris?
Probably my favorite horror movie is Scream. I love Scream. I think it is just.
I know what someone's number one is.
I think that's my that's my favorite twist of all time is the killer in Scream.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's such a unique, at least for the time, take on a horror movie. And I don't really like horror movies that much. I don't like gore, but.
I like it was like corn syrup, just like in Carrie. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's just really good. All right, well, I have a feeling I know what your number one is.
I don't think you're going to guess it.
I don't know.
Mine is also...
Yeah.
It's also Scream.
Yeah.
It's just so good. I mean, I feel like I say this a lot, but that's the movie that got me into movies. I remember like when the killer turned around and you're like, oh my gosh. That I still think it's the best twist ending. I feel like people have tried to kind of like recreate it or recreate that same feel, and they just don't do it right.
Well, they've tried to recreate it.
And I don't feel like it works. They have tried.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't necessarily a twist ending. When I first saw it, it was the twist beginning. Drew Barrymore at the time.
That is, yeah.
Drew Barrymore at the time was a huge star.
Massive.
And killing her off in the opening scene was like ballsy back then. Like it was like something you never, because she was in all the promotional stuff.
Yeah, she's first build. It's like starring Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And then Drew Barrymore dies in 10 minutes. And you're like, this is not starring Drew Barrymore.
That's one of the parts I love the most about that movie.
That's genius.
See, I haven't watched Scream. Should I watch it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you should. Absolutely.
See, I'm more of like a TV person.
That's okay.
So I'm on this journey this year to watch movies.
You should watch
Scream. Is definitely should
it's
be
good.
Like,
I'll put it on my list.
It is genius.
All of them are good except the third one. 4 is actually pretty good. I think it's underrated.
I don't really like 2.
You don't like 2? I enjoy 2
the whole Hollywood stuff isn't really.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. No, the Hollywood stuff where they're in Hollywood, that's 3.
Oh, that's 3? Then yeah 3 sucks.
Now 2 is where she's in college.
Oh, I love 2. Never mind, I mixed them up. I love 2.
For me, my number one is probably no surprise to anyone. It's right there. It's Halloween. I mean, my jack-o'-lantern this year was the one from the opening scene of Halloween.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
No, it's not that one, but it's. I'll show it to you afterwards. It's like how it's a very interesting look to a jack-o'-lantern, and I love that movie. I watched it again on Halloween. I just enjoy how it pretty much launched the slasher movies. Like for me, movies like Scream would not have happened without the success of Halloween.
Yeah,
because it started the Scream Queen thing. It started the slashers craze. Sort of, it popularized it the most. And for me, as a filmmaker, it was one of the first times you saw a Steadicam for like the opening scene. It was done like that was one of the first Steadicams scenes used in film. I thought it was very inventive at the time. So, and the mask, I think it's one of the most iconic masks personally.
It is.
So
was the mask an accident? Not like an accident, but wasn't it like they were like, we don't know anything?
So when they first started the movie, they were just gonna pick like a pumpkin mask because they didn't know what to do. But then they were at a Halloween store and they saw a William Shatner mask from Star Trek, and all they did was they painted it white. That's literally it. If you look at it, it's William Shatner from Star Trek, but they just painted it white. Now it has its own different unique features. It doesn't look as much like it, but yeah, that was the whole concept of the first one. Was at first it was just gonna be a pumpkin head, and then they didn't like it. It didn't look good, and so they were trying to figure out what to do, and that's how it became. To me, that's one of the cool parts about it. What is your number one?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm joking. I came here to defend myself as a Halloween Town stan. I was afraid I was gonna come up here, be here, and then be
All by yourself?
judged. Yes, for my love for Halloween Town. I watch Halloween Town every single year. This movie is so good. I didn't even realize it was a Disney movie until last year. That's how good this movie is.
I like a lot of the Disney Channel Halloween ones. Like, if you guys haven't seen, like, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, that's a really good one. Phantom at the Megaplex is another fun one I enjoyed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
These are Disney Channel, like, so Halloween Town's a Disney Channel original movie.
See, but I grew up on, like, Girl vs. Monster.
That's
And she had, like, that rad song, and I'm like,
so the ones I'm referring to are back when I was a kid, but I was a kid, so they're in that same realm of, like, cheesy but fun, at least in my opinion. I enjoy those too.
I also just like witches.
Yeah.
We need more witch movies.
I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, not as much recently.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay, so if you like witch movies, you guys see The Witch. Came out in 2015.
Is that with Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy. Really good one. You like it.
Oh, I like her.
All right, Chris.
My favorite Halloween movie is Scooby-Doo, like the live-action one.
Really?
I think that one's fire. I think that's the best casting in movie history.
I did not expect that.
I did not.
It's not great CGI, but I think that's one of the most fun Halloween movies.
I think it's what brings you into the movie, that it's not good
CGI.
CGI.
It kind of does. It's kind of like nostalgic almost. It's like Toy Story 1, where like the animation is just nostalgic. You know?
That's a very interesting one. I'm not a big fan of like rebooting too early, but you guys think it's time that they did a reboot on that?
Of action?
Live action Scooby-Doo?
They can't recreate that beautiful picture that was made.
Yeah, I don't know if you can like get a cast that is as iconic as the one that they had.
Like even like the second one, is that like they're on like a Hawaiian island or something like that?
That was the second one, yes.
Yeah, that one was pretty good too. But the first one's the best.
Yeah.
You can't recreate magic.
Do you think they could bring the original cast back?
No, they're too old now.
My bad.
Well, I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. is returning as a legacy character for I Know What You Did Last Summer, and he's gonna be like, I'm assuming it's gonna be like his kids who are gonna be getting slashed up. So I'm glad you guys love it that much. See, I grew up on Scooby-Doo, and even when I first saw it, like I liked it as a kid, I watched it as an adult, and it's glad you guys like it.
Do you not know how to have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, I know how to have fun.
I don't know. It feels like you're admitting that you're boring and not fun at all.
I'm just a boring old man, I guess. Isn't that right? No, but that's the funny thing. There's certain things like they're extremely cheesy and you know they're horrible, but you still love them. For me, like that's not for me for Scooby-Doo. Like movies like You'll Never Know What This Is, but Three Ninjas, or those movies, like things like that. To me, like they're extremely cheesy. It's not a good movie, but I enjoy the hell out of it because it's part of my childhood. So it's those things you just can't help gravitate towards, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Not the greatest movies of all time, but I enjoy the heck out of them. So I'm not gonna, I still watched as a teenager Scooby-Doo. I think it's when it came out. And I still love the animated shows. I enjoyed the Velma that HBO Max did. Velma had her own show that came out recently. So, not saying you guys are wrong for loving it. I'm just saying I'm glad you guys like it.
Well, you just said one thing that was wrong. Like you said, it wasn't a great movie. It is a great movie. You know, it's a masterpiece.
Glad you feel that way, buddy. But that'll do us for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. What is your favorite Halloween movies to watch around Halloween time? I'm surprised none of my floor chimed in at all. They're all just kind of looking like robots out there. What is your favorite? Leave your comments in the section below. Give us your top 3. Also, what do you think of the rest of our news? Leave your comments and share your thoughts. Also, if you like what we provide, you like our content, please hit that subscribe button, punch the subscribe button and like button so you receive all of our great content we have for you here on ReelTime and at KMOS. Pester Professors on Fridays. We have D&D on Wednesdays. We do Cinema Sit Down still. We have one coming up next week I'm excited for. Enjoy all the content we have for you here on Red Digital. Subscribe for us and like our content and hit the notification bell because it really helps us get in the algorithm to get our product out there. That's all we have for today. Again, I'm Josh Williams.
I'm Jordan Burke.
I'm Madeline Latero. Halloween Town is awesome.
And I'm Christopher Moore.
And thank you for keeping it real
with ReelTime.